Welcome to the Retro Coast to Coast podcast. I'm the Atari Creep, and along with my good buddy, Mr. Paku Paku, we're going to spend about an hour or so with you talking about retro toys, retro games, retro movies, and just retro goodness in general. I hope you enjoy. So go ahead and kick back, join in on the conversation, because here we go.
I was at Target earlier.
And
just checking out what toys they have and this and that.
Right.
So I guess they're continuing this Marvel Legends action figures.
Oh.
But before I remember those used to come with comic books, but now it's just the figure. So.
No kidding. I didn't know that.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I guess because of the the whole Marvel thing going on, like they're expanding the toys.
Mm-hmm.
Whatnot.
I was at Target about a week or two ago, and I saw some DC stuff. There's some really rad. I don't collect any of that, but there was a couple of really rad Superman figures that looked amazing.
Oh yeah.
I wish I had grabbed one. They're all gone now, but.
Were they like $20 still, or?
I think they were closer to 15. I don't know. I just grabbed it, looked at it, and said, you know what? I have no use for it, and I put it back. And then, as usual, I wish I had not done that very thing.
Yeah, that's the rough thing. It's like when I see toys or anything in general that I like, it's like I want to grab it, but then I consider like where I would put it in my room or around the house, and just nowhere to put it.
It's funny. Like about 2 weeks ago or a week ago, there was a pop I looked at. And you know me, I'm very selective with those.
Right.
I don't know if you still collect them or not, but there was a Zero droid from the new Mandalorian. It was the only Mandalorian anything that the store had, to be honest with you. And I had it in my hand, but I did the usual, let's just put it back thing.
Yeah.
My lady ended up going and getting it the next day for me anyway, but because she knew I kind of wanted it.
Yeah. I mean, I got rid of maybe 96% of my pops.
Did you really?
Yeah, I mean, the only things I kept really were the gamer-related stuff, because I like to keep things, in themes.
Right.
So, in my office is kind of like just the video game room, really. So I don't want to put things that don't relate to video games.
Yeah. I'm assuming you kept your Pac-Man ones.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course.
That's awesome.
But it's funny because it's like, you see these pops that you would buy for like $8, $9, and then, 5 months down the line, they become more like they're worth like $50, $60.
Yeah.
The Pac-Man ones haven't really gone anywhere in price.
Kidding. Really?
The only one. I mean, they're becoming rare, but the only one that really jumped up significantly is the Blue Ghost.
Oh, okay.
But I wouldn't sell it.
Is that one just more rare or something?
I don't know. I thought they like with Pac-Man, it's like such an obscure, toy.
Right.
You would think that they would make equal amounts of all of them,
Right. No, it makes sense.
Yeah, because as much as I like Pac-Man, I don't think it would draw that much of a attention where they would have to make, like a bunch more than they would really have to. Yeah. So I guess that's why it would be rare.
Let me ask you this about pops. I know a lot of people collect them for an investment thing. Do you think they're kind of like the new Beanie Baby, where everyone thinks they're going to be rich in 20 years for having these things, and they end up just with a whole bunch of thrift store items?
Yes and no. It's like, because the fan base that I see, that I personally see, that collect pops, a lot of them collect it for the, I guess not just the collectability, if that's a word, but they are fans of what they get, and stuff like, let's just say, for example, Beetlejuice. Like you're not going to see action figures of Beetlejuice like lying around anywhere.
No.
So when you see like Funko Pops release them, fans of Beetlejuice, are gonna like flock to get it.
Okay,
But
yeah, it makes sense.
but I do believe like maybe 5 years down the line, maybe 10 years, it will be treated like Beanie Babies or Pokemon, like how it used to be like this thing everybody has to get, because there are people who don't even like appreciate geek culture that are just getting it just because.
Right, right.
So yeah, it's possible it's gonna just end up in landfills.
Well, no, it's funny that you said that because there is. I have very few pops. I have. God, I can't. I got Skeletor one. I got the Frankenstein one you sent me. I got
Right.
the Hero. I think I got Kylo Ren. Um, I got the 8-bit Freddy and Jason. I'm
Oh,
sure
nice.
there's one or two I'm missing there, but regardless, I don't collect them. I don't collect them at all. But every now and again, one will catch my eye. And it was the 50th anniversary Scooby Doo one that came out right around the holidays, which is not too rare. But
Hmm.
it has, I don't even think it's Scooby. I think it's Scrappy. But it came with a giant pop haunted house, like the
Oh,
Mystery.
wow.
Yeah, I almost picked that up locally here at a place called Newberry Comics right around the holidays, but it was one of those. Well, I'm not spending money on me. I got to buy stuff for the kids and the family. So
Right.
I get talking about the people who don't normally collect certain things. They're gravitating towards like like they're into Scooby Doo, so they'll buy Scooby Doo stuff.
Hmm.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guilty of that too. I mean, uh, when I collected pops, I used to just get um, certain items. Like I'm a big fan of X-Men,
Okay.
but um, I think what kind of gets people in the hole, in the hole, is like they like, for example, they like Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
so they want their favorite character. Maybe it's Doctor Doom or Mr. Fantastic,
Okay.
and it's sitting on your shelf, and you're like, it looks so incomplete. Like I should just get the rest. And then
Mhm.
when it comes to Funko Pops, they never just release the base set. They always have
Right.
to release some obscurity, like some obscure character you never heard of, or um, a special edition Doctor Doom. This one is in silver, and this one
Yeah.
glows in the dark. So it like it attracts people the wrong way, and then
Mhm.
people are just like, oh, I can't just have 8 out of the 10. I have to have all 10.
Right.
And then a few months later, it's like, oh, we added 4 more, and then you're like, oh my gosh.
Right? It's funny. It's funny because and I mentioned the puffs I have. My girlfriend has a bunch too. And for Christmas one year, I got her the complete set of Orange is the New Black.
Oh, nice.
And that set right there alone is exactly what you're talking about. If I had just gotten one of them, it would have been like, really? Why?
Yeah. It's like,
And we
oh,
were cheap
Piper
enough.
looks good on the shelf, but where's everyone else?
They've been in a box since they got here.
Now, um, when we do talk about pops, do you take them out of the box, or is it just in the box for you?
Um, they're in the box only because they're not really technically out on display.
Okay.
They're up on the top of my shelf, but they're kind of behind a few things. I have too many things and not enough space.
Right.
So my pops, I try to keep the ones I want to show kind of like on the top, so they're in the box, but only because of that reason.
Yeah.
If I had my own space, like I did say in Chandler, um, they would be out of their boxes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I wanted to take them out of the box. Well, at least the ones that to me are just regular stuff. But
right.
um, the ones that I used to have that were pretty common, like let's say a show, like let's say Orange is the New Black.
Hmm.
If I didn't have the box, I wouldn't know who these people are.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the X-Men characters, of course, Cyclops looks like Cyclops.
Hmm.
Wolverine, you can tell who Jean Grey is, who Professor
Right.
X is. But then when you start getting into obscure, like just regular TV shows, it's like, who is this guy or who is this girl?
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I would keep the boxes
Mm,
to remind me who the hell they were. I mean, I know who mine are.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah,
No.
because like Freddy and Jason are like pretty, you would know them regardless what they're wearing or what
Mm-hmm.
colors they are. But,
Right, exactly.
But you give me someone like Sherlock Holmes, like I don't know, who he would be because he looks like another generic pop,
Well, they all look generic unless there's something special,
Right.
To me, anyway.
But I mean,
loaves of bread with black beady eyes.
Yeah, big heads, bobbleheads. But I was hoping they would be more like Happy Meals toys, where there'll be 5 or 6 in a set, and then maybe the 5th or 6th one would be the most rare.
Right.
Like, so there's an actual purpose to the hunt.
Uh-huh.
Rather than just you come out with 6 and then you think you have everything, and then they release another 6 that make it more difficult.
Yep.
Yeah, I miss the days of collecting Happy Meal toys. I mean, I used to, but these days, like, they don't really appeal. I mean, I would get the Star Wars stuff, but that's about it.
I just collected a whole set of Burger King toys. I very rarely do it too now myself. Burger King in March, I guess it was. I mean, locally here, they're still pushing them out. They're like Hot Wheels with dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah, I finally got the 4th one a couple of days ago. We just went there just by chance, and we picked up a meal for one of the kids because the other one hates that crap. Good for her, right?
Yeah.
And of course, whenever they see stuff like that, they just usually hand it over to me.
Oh.
But no, it just so happened to be the last one in the set for me. So she just handed it to me and said, "Here you go."
That's cool.
Yeah.
But
so I'm doing a full video on those.
They don't just sell toys by itself?
They do. I just never thought after this far along that one would still be available.
Yeah, because when I was collecting the Star Wars, I guess they were like keychains, like they would open or light up or something. But
right,
I only wanted like 3 certain ones, and I made the employee like really dig.
Yeah, I did that once for a Darth Vader thing at one of them. I can't remember which chain, but I guess each box came with 2. And he's like, "We just opened this box, so there's definitely at least 2 in there." So I'm like, "Please." So yeah, that's how I usually do it. I'll just buy them all outright. But I got a couple of kids here now that eat the meals,
Right.
so I just kind of benefit from it that way.
Yeah, I mean, like usually when I'm just craving McDonald's or whatever, I would just get a Happy Meal, so I don't have to get this huge, thing.
Right.
I usually just give toys I don't want to like neighborhood kids or whatnot.
Yeah.
But just like I wish they had like come out with something cool. I mean, I guess it's a generation thing because I don't understand what's going on these days.
Yeah.
If they came out with like old school Transformers or
Yeah. Did you see those little minifigures I got at the Dollar Tree, the Transformer ones?
Yes.
There's a set of 6 of them. They're still at my store anyway. I thought those things would have been gobbled up by now.
Are they plastic or steel?
No, they're not steel at all. They're like a soft plastic.
Oh, okay.
Very, very close to Keshi.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I was surprised when I saw steel toys, like those really mini, like 2-inch figures or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But they had them of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and wrestling figures.
At the Dollar Tree?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're still there, but I remember seeing.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they also had around here. What they really stocked up on was Street Fighter 2 figures.
Oh wow! I would have bought those.
I wish I had thought about it. I'm not really into it, so I didn't grab it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I remember seeing Street Fighter, but they only had like 1 out of like the 8 they were offering.
Okay.
So I was like, no point in getting it.
Wow, they're littered with them here.
Man.
Nuts.
You ever try your hand on those like those mystery boxes for toys? Like it would say like, um, let's just say Spider-Man, and then but you don't know what you're getting. You just buy the bag, and whatever you get is what you get.
A blind bag?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. I hate blind bags. I hate them. Target about 4 or 5 years ago had those ET ones for 99 cents,
Oh wow.
and there were six total, and I had five. A buddy of mine helped me complete it.
Jeez.
Online, he's Cryptic Line Works. He does my stickers and stuff, my buttons.
Hmm.
But he's also, well, he was a toy dealer. I don't know if he still is, under the name Deep Space Toys. But he thought they were cool, and we jumped in on an eBay lot together,
Nice.
and I got the one that I needed, and he just ended up with the rest of them.
I wonder how much he had to open.
Oh, I don't know, but we got them all.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That reminded me of I don't know if you heard this company called Kid Robot.
Kid Bro, no.
Um, they have their own figures, but they like every now and then they do crossovers, kind of like how Funko Pop does it.
Mm-hmm.
But these like little figures are maybe an inch and a half, you know. But
Okay.
they're like vinyl inch and a half toys. But excuse me. One series they did Street Fighter, and um, I think they sold them for about $6 or $7 each, and there was about I think 10 in the first series or whatnot to collect.
Mm-hmm.
So I would buy it every now and then. This is like when I was still living in the East Coast,
Okay.
because they had a Kid Robot store over there. But anyway, every now and then I would pass by, like, either on my way home from school or going to work. I would buy one figure or so, and I would get so many repeats. Right?
Yeah.
I think there's like so many camis I got or whatnot. Um, so fast forward like years later when I moved here, I got a better paying job, and I was like, you know what? Let me just buy a box, like, what they would send retailers. And, I would eventually get the five that I'm missing or whatnot. So I bought the box, and I was still missing two.
Oh no.
Yeah. Like, um, I guess, the ninth figure is like 9 and 10 are super rare, right?
Okay.
So you're guaranteed to get one of those in the pack. Like if you bought, like I believe the box had about a set of 20 or 24.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the figure number 9, I think it was Akuma. Yeah, you're guaranteed to get him or number 10. I forgot who the character was, but yeah. So I don't know how many like boxes you would have to buy just to get just to complete that set.
Yeah.
And I was so pissed because like I had all these repeats. I just donated it. I'm like, screw it. Man, like,
Well, I don't get into the blind bags because, and you get the boxes now, the blind boxes, which will have a bag inside. They're always like $5, $6 a piece.
right.
If they were like the ET ones, a buck or two. Now I get the larger vinyl figures need to be a little bit more expensive, but for a while there, I was getting into the blind bag Keshis. I have a whole bunch of the Masters of the Universe ones.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they also Super Seven also came out with Universal Monster ones, and I had to stay away from that because that's when I would try to get all the Frankensteins and all the Draculas, and I'm just like at $5 a pop, $4 a pop if you get it from the website.
Oh, of
But I'm
course.
just thinking to myself, this 1.5 inch figure, $4. Even if it's my favorite figure of all time, I just don't see that being worth it.
Right.
It's more like a gumball machine toy to me.
No,
I'm serious.
I mean
If they
that's
paid him a couple bucks, they'd get rich off of me.
yeah. Well, I mean that's the chances of you getting what you want. Same as a
Yeah,
gumball machine.
yeah, no, exactly. But a gumball machine is 50 cents,
Yeah.
not
No harm,
five
no
bucks.
foul there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, because there's a store here in Tucson, right next to Bookman's called True Collector. It's just this one guy who has a strange name like Puss
Okay,
or Poss, like Posse, I guess. Or
okay.
I don't know. Like my hearing is kind of off these days, but
Oh,
uh, no, so he deals directly with collectible toys, like figures you wouldn't want to open or give to your kids,
right.
stuff. But I was almost tempted to do the blind box thing with the Namco. I don't know if you've seen those. It's like it looks like arcade boxes,
Mm-hmm.
but then when you open it,
They're
there's
vinyl
like
figures, right?
yeah,
Yep.
but those were like $6-7 with tax, and I'm just
Oh,
like, I guess they'd be cool, but it'd be nice if I, got 100%, um, find rate of the ones that I want, or at least the whole set.
right.
Because it's like if I buy 5, I don't know if I'm going to get 5 out of 5 of the different characters. I'll probably get like 3 of the same dude, like 3 Dig Dugs.
And you know what would bug me? And it's not an OCD thing, but they were different arcade cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
If I got a Cubert that was inside of a Centipede cabinet, I'd be so pissed. That's the part that kept me away.
Yeah, I mean, I bought the Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man one. I'm scared to open it, just for that damn reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to reach in. I mean, cool if it's a Galaga ship, that's awesome. But I really wanted Pac-Man, or Miss Pac-Man.
Mm-hmm. They were doing that with the arcade cabinets themselves for a little bit there. Do you know that store Claire's that little girls get like their earrings and stuff in?
Yes, yes.
We were in there with the girls. And they had just gotten their ears pierced, or we were in line to get pierced, or I don't know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed they had these blind bag. They're kind of like the Super Impulse tiny arcades that you can get like a Cracker Barrel or whatever.
Oh yeah.
They're like that, but just slightly smaller, I think. But they had blind bag of those. I think those were $6.99 though.
What was in them?
Little mini arcades that worked. Yeah.
Man.
Little battery operated arcades, much like the Super Impulse ones.
Yeah. The stuff you would probably find at Walgreens.
Yeah. Yep. But they're doing blind bags. I'm just like, there's so many of these games I don't give a shit about.
Oh, I know. It's like, if I just saw the actual game I want, I probably would buy it just to put on the shelf, really.
Well, that's the great thing about the Super Impulse ones.
Yeah.
You see the one that you're buying.
Right.
And you can hack most of them.
Yeah, I hate the guessing game. That's like the worst game we could play, especially with my money.
They make bank off of it though.
Oh, I know. But it's weird that a place like Claire's would sell it.
Yeah, it was random. It was random. It was on a rack and it had nothing to do with anything else. But they had like 3 or 4 of them. The guy was trying to get me to buy them all.
Oh, yeah, maybe if they were $2 a pop, sure.
Amen. And that's what I was telling him. I said, if you could do it for $3, I actually said $3.
Huh.
Well, I don't have that kind of authority. I'm like, well, then I'm not buying them. Sorry, bud. Buy them all.
I mean, they do. They just won't do it.
Yeah.
Because actually at Target today, I witnessed something like that happen. Well, it wasn't like blind boxes or anything, but some guy I guess he was there with his kids. They were buying a new TV because their TV broke. I just overheard this conversation. But he was talking about how he was from LA with the employee, right? And he was like freaking out. He's like, "Why is the tax like this, right?" And he's like, "What's the tax in Arizona?" And the guy was like, "It's like 8.1%." And the dude was like, "Dang," because in California it's like 10. So
wow.
he was like, "Why does it seem so cheap?" Because the price listed, it was like $3.99, and with tax it became like $4.30, yada yada. Or if he does his math right, it's $4.30, but it ended up being under $4.20.
Right.
And then the guy was like, "Oh, I discounted it a bit, gave it to you for $3.79."
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I was like, and this guy's not even a manager. At least he didn't seem like a manager. He was like just pushing carts,
Okay. Yeah, I suppose some of them do have that then.
Yeah, I mean, When I worked retail, I did.
Oh, did you really?
I mean, like when I worked at Fry's, like I had the power to like mark stuff down like 75%.
Right. Okay.
But
Wow.
but I mean, you know,
Wait,
you
that was
really
like
you really
a
do.
grocery store.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So,
you really do that if it's like expiring in like tomorrow.
oh, okay. So you're talking about the grocery store.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you worked at Fry's Electronics when I was out there, and you could get 75% off,
Oh no, no. Oh,
you and
speaking
I'd
of
be caught up in a felony.
yeah, yeah. But speaking of Fry's though, it's like, are they closed?
I have no idea. We don't have them out here.
Yeah. The one here was under construction for a bit,
Okay.
and then I guess it doesn't exist anymore. But I think their website still does.
No kidding.
Yeah, like I didn't really know that place was an actual place for the longest time. Like I would order stuff because their website was called outpost.com back in the day.
Oh.
And yeah, so I would order like computer parts and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I never realized like it was just like 10 minutes from where I lived before when I lived in the Phoenix area.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to go there all the time.
Yeah. Just to check out that waterfall. Wait, was it a waterfall or was it just like some enclosed rock area?
I don't remember waterfall, but the thing looked like a Mayan temple.
Right. Like it had like speakers built in or whatever. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I remember Steven like took me there a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
And um it was just weird because at that time it's like things just never restocked. Like you would see like even the video game section when I guess the Wii U was still hot.
Uh-huh.
Like there would only be like two of each game like on the shelf.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wonder if they just fell to the whole internet.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, and then it probably didn't get any better with this whole thing going on.
No.
So
No, that's
I mean,
crazy.
I guess they're more popular in California now
Oh, okay.
because yeah, like the only one that like I knew of here is I guess doesn't exist or is just it's just so empty.
Just faded away, huh?
Like it got raided or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's sad. That's sad. That was a fun place to shop in.
Oh yeah.
It smelt expensive inside of there.
But it's weird.
Lounges where you could test out all the stereo equipment.
Yeah.
And the surround sound systems. Oh my god.
Oh, but it's funny you say that because it did smell expensive, but it was a lot cheaper than Best Buy.
Yeah, no kidding. I got a complete computer there, and I don't remember what was in it. It was like $400.
Oh,
that thing
wow.
lasted me for years.
That's a pretty good price considering.
Yeah, it was still
it's already
during the
built.
XP days. It was still during XP, but
Oh yeah, no, I mean, you buy a computer out of Best Buy, regardless what era it is, you're gonna spend like 800 plus.
I know. But this was literally just a tower. It was a special deal. They had just gotten a pallet of something, and I'm getting one while you can. And I just so happened to have the money and needed it. So
Yeah. Well, do they have something like that in your area or around you?
no, it's all just retail. It's Best Buy and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah,
I mean, in Tucson, there's a mom and pop shop, but they have to stay competitive because they're a mom and pop shop.
Yeah, probably get burnt.
Yeah, I'm surprised the video game stores here haven't got burnt.
No,
like there's this yeah, because when I moved out to Tucson, I was looking for a place kind of like Fallout or Gaming Zone.
Yeah,
and I found this small shop, like they're purely video games. They have an okay inventory. When I was searching for it, they were making claims like, oh, the best video game store in Tucson.
probably
so yeah. Also, I was like, oh man, this place must be lit, right? So I go there, and they have a nice inventory, stuff you don't see, like Rock Band and Guitar Hero. Like you don't see too much of that these days.
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of those Skylanders and whatnot. But their prices were like kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean,
great.
well, I mean, like I understand, like when stores have to overcharge because of overhead and whatnot, but it's like I would expect that from like the AAA titles or the rare stuff. But they were trying to sell like games like on a Nintendo Hoops for like $9.
Ooh.
Or was it Hoops? No, sorry. Hoops was okay, but there was a game like as common as Hoops that they were trying to sell for like that price range.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like Cobra Triangle or something.
Okay.
It's like a $5 game. Like I understand the markup to $6 or even $7, but like $9.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then you have like Bookman's here. Like they have better deals, even though they're still kind of ripping you off. But
Right.
better deal than the best video game store in Tucson.
Wow.
But I guess they're whatchamacallit? What's the word? Their customer service is great or something.
Okay. Hey, whatever works, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I try to support local, but only if it's reasonable.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna make them rich,
No. No. Shit. So aside from the pops and stuff, dude, what's it like out there as far as the toy landscape? Up here, it sucks, man. You go into any store and they have nothing. I don't know if it's a supply thing. I do know the Targets around here just don't want to carry Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
May the 4th, I went to all of them in my area. Well, at least 3. There's 4 or 5 Targets in my area.
Dang.
And not a one of them even prepared for May the 4th.
Really?
We just weren't even going to bother. Yeah, they didn't stock. They didn't put up any displays. Nothing.
Oh. I wish I thought about going out to buy a Star Wars toy. Because, I mean, that was around the time where I still had a little bit money left over from my stimulus.
Okay.
And I'm like, I just spent the day just cooking, and we actually watched Star Wars that day. I think it was, what did we watch? We saw Rogue One.
Okay.
But yeah, I wish I thought about like buying something. I could have bought a pop or whatever. But to answer your question about toys,
yeah,
Walmart and Target suck when it comes to toys.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say that because maybe they suck, maybe they don't. But every time I go, it's usually empty.
Okay.
Like how I used to do Pokemon cards, right?
Yeah.
So there'd be times where there'd be nothing on the shelves, and then a day like today, where I'm there not for that, they have like a bunch just there, but then they're so empty with action figures, and I'm not sure if people are just buying and collecting, or they just don't care. But yeah, because when I was building my office, I was looking for Nintendo action figures, and I know Walmart and Target used to carry a bunch of the Super Mario toys.
Yeah.
But nowadays, the only ones I could... What was that?
Ours still kind of do. You randomly find them.
Yeah, like you'd probably find like maybe like 4 or 5, right? And they're all the same Goomba or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that I was looking for like awesome like Zelda toys or anything, but I just wanted to see what Nintendo toys I could get.
Okay.
And nothing. Even like reaching out to like wrestling toys or even comic book toys. It's very, very scarce.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about Tucson though is there's a lot of mom and pop shops here.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, that one dude next to Bookman's who does True Collector. Then there's this place that closed down, but they're open online because of the pandemic. It's called Mad Titan Toys.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been there a few times, And then there's quite a few spots that I haven't visited, but there's a lot of comic book stores here, and a lot of those stores that sell like role playing games and those card collector games kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, like if you're looking for obscure toys, there's a good chance you could find it here.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you'd want to pay those prices, but
well, and it's not even so much as the obscure stuff, and I guess it is obscure because I can't find any of it. But even remember when the first round of the retro collection Star Wars toys came out?
Oh yeah.
The Luke, the Han, the Chewie, the Leia,
the repackaged ones, right?
And all, yeah. My Target got 2 boxes in. When I say 2 boxes, I mean they literally got 2 boxes that had 2 full sets.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, 12 figures total.
Jeez.
And I was hoping to grab a whole bunch of Stormtroopers. I was thinking they were going to be on the shelves, just like a normal toy would have been.
Yeah,
so I grab Stormtrooper every couple times I go in there to start a small little army behind Darth Vader and all that. But no, they got 1 of each, 2 of each, I should say.
Jeez.
And I guess I'm just really concerned with this because they didn't do anything for May the 4th, and maybe it's just Star Wars. But Mattel is coming out with the new Masters of the Universe figures, hopefully. God, with all this crap that's going on with the COVID, they're scheduled to come out this fall for the holiday season. And I'm really looking forward to those. And I'm starting to be 50-50 on whether I'm even going to be able to find any of them.
Well, I'll be on the lookout, but I think with Target, I think Funko Pops ruined that.
Yeah.
Well, not that there's anything wrong with the Pops. It's just people got so crazy when it came to hunting. Especially Funko Pops, because you know how Target has their exclusives and whatnot, right?
Yep.
So I would like in the groups that I would see like people complaining because there are some Target employees that do collect, and so there's a couple of cases. There'd be some where the employee would hold it for themselves, which supposedly is against the rules.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, so that's one thing. And then there would be a nuisance of people calling, asking them to check the back for so and so, or the Target exclusive or the Chase figure or whatever.
Okay.
And then they actually made a rule that you can't ask anymore. Like whatever's out there is just the hand you're dealt with. Like they had they had signs up for a certain time, like saying that. And then, they rarely restock those Pops now. Like they have a little Funko section at the Target that I usually go to.
Yeah, we do too.
Yeah, but it's never full anymore.
Well, ours is full, but with tons of ones that no one gives a shit about.
Yeah.
I'm serious. It's always the same dusty ones.
Yeah, I know. It's probably like the Jack and Rose from Titanic.
Yeah, right. But I will say this, though. They do have a section to the left of those Pops where, like, the NECA figures and that kind of stuff is. Those Toonie Terrors I've been getting a lot lately.
Oh, yeah.
They've been keeping those in the Savage World from Funko. They do have that. Basically, it's like a Funko / NECA collector's area.
Oh, yeah.
So they do keep that fairly stocked well. But it's just like the regular toy section.
Oh, I know.
You can't pick up anything anymore, and it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I think the last NECA toy I saw, excuse me, was the
COVID.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They should make a COVID action figure.
Right.
You press its chest, it starts coughing.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah. But no, I think the last NECA action figure I saw was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I was really close to getting it. If it weren't for that price range. But
I know.
But I mean, like, if I had that money to burn, it's like it seems worth it because it's such great detail, But yeah, if I had a movie room, I would get those kind of toys.
Yeah, that makes sense. Bud.
Yeah, I mean, with all our interests, it's kind of like we need a room for everything.
Yeah, I know, I know. Well, mine kind of shifted though. I mean, I have a lot less video games now, and I have a lot more toys.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I mean,
modern
if
technology have made it so I don't have to collect everything anymore. You know.
just get the JPEGs of them. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
Well, if certain things didn't happen and you got your way with in life,
Uh-huh.
like, would you have kept up with all that stuff that you had like 6 years ago?
If I had the room for it, probably not as much.
Well, just like spitting out a scenario here, like if you never had to leave that place you used to live in,
Okay.
I forget where it was, but
Chandler.
and yeah, in Chandler, like that. Was it a trailer or was it just a? It wasn't a trailer.
It was a prefab.
It was a what?
Prefab.
Okay.
Manufactured home.
If you never had to leave that spot,
Right.
would you still have continued doing what you were doing back there, like with the Sega Genesis collecting and?
I probably would have.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to tell because what have I gotten bored of it? I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
It's weird that you asked that. It's weird that you asked that because, like, I have no problem not having all that right now.
right.
Like, when it comes to my Sega Genesis, I have my Model 1, and I have my Necronomicon, so I also have that flash card. I
Mhm.
know people will say boo to that, but you know what? Whatever. I don't need two rooms to have my collection anymore.
Right.
You know, I get this laptop that we're recording on right now. I have pretty much every game on there, plus the Wii.
Hmm.
I have means to play these games now. Atari and stuff like that, I still collect physical for and television. I don't think I own a single Nintendo game. I might have a couple squirreled away. That's a lie. But like you were saying, when I was in that place, I had the walls of it.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. It's different circumstances. I think I would have trickled stuff in.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been as aggressive as it was before. Because even when I was still there, I kind of slowed down. I got rid of some stuff. I started adopting the attitude of just grabbing the stuff that I know I either wanted or I knew I would get to eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, instead of just grabbing everything I could at the flea market.
Yeah.
I bought $600 worth of games that I'm not going to do anything with.
Yeah, it's just a wall decoration.
Yeah, yeah. You remember that one time I was at a Savers and I found all the Mario Parties, Mario Kart, all kinds of for $3 a piece.
Yeah.
And I only grabbed the few that I wanted, and everyone's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah. You could have made bank.
But yeah, no, I probably would have just kept it to what I wanted.
Yeah.
If I were to do it right now, just a few things I would try to recollect, but no, for the most
Okay.
part, I'm good where I'm at.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because I was on Facebook earlier, and memories.
Uh-huh.
So I guess sometime this week I posted my room back in the day,
Okay.
and it was kind of. It's like I look back and I'm like, oh man, I wish I had all that stuff. But then I look at it, I'm like, what the hell did I need 3 GameCubes for?
Right.
4 Nintendos just on there.
I had almost every North American release of the Atari 2600.
And it made no difference.
No, they looked pretty though.
Yeah. But yeah, I was looking at my room and I'm like, it's cool, but other than my friends who are into this and my wife, like, who is gonna give a crap, really?
Right.
Because looking at it now, I don't really give a crap about it. And but I asked you if it would be the same because the reason why one of the reasons why I gave up most of that stuff is because life happened.
Yep.
Things just had that snowball effect where something small happens and then it just rolls into something bigger and bigger and then you can't it's out of your control.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm thinking like if those things never happened, would I still have it?
I probably still would.
Yeah, I probably would have it, but I probably wouldn't appreciate it either.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because I mean, like, I guess the trophy of it all would have been, oh, I got this for $10 and now it's going for 30, and there's nothing you can do about it, kind of thing.
Right.
You know.
You know, it's funny, and when you talk about that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because all that stuff that we did get back in the day for like next to nothing.
Oh yeah.
Man, I could buy a car right now. Not that I need it, but
yeah, because it's crazy. Because like, you know, just imagine if you were to get a stimulus check, you know, 5 years ago when those things were like next to nothing.
Right.
You know, and you had all that money to burn. Like, you could probably buy out a store. You know.
No kidding.
With no sports titles either. So
I know. You do need a filler though.
Yeah. But you know, I was thinking about collecting again. I mean, I sort of am with the older stuff. Like I do have a few Nintendo games. I was thinking about expanding to like Super Nintendo and Game Boy.
Okay.
Just the stuff that I want, not no fillers or anything. Just, you know, because there's a lot of titles to select from. You know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, but what was I saying? Oh, so I was thinking about collecting, and because I play so much Xbox and PS4 these days, I was like, should I bother collecting for that?
Right.
But then the stupid thing is, if I start collecting for that, and then 10 years down the line, if we're still alive and whatnot, and if those systems will play Xbox One and PS4 still,
right.
like, would it still be relevant? Because it's not like an Atari game where you plug it in, you know, it's still the same game as it was day one.
No, I totally get it, and that's my biggest fear of trying to go into the modern stuff. Like 10 years from now, can I still play that damn game?
Yeah, because I'm looking at like, let's say I was streaming earlier and I was playing Halo, right?
Okay.
But before I got to play it, it needed an update. And when it updated it, I thought it was just going to fix the quirks of the multiplayer, which is what usually updates do. You know, they don't do much to the game itself except for, you know, maybe balance out if it's unfair in multiplayer, if someone chooses a gun that's overpowered, you know, it usually just balances that out. But then when I updated it, they added like 2 new games. Or it's not new, but it's 2 new modes. They added games to the collection. So it's like, okay, 10 years from now, if I boot this up and don't have access to Xbox Live or Xbox whatever, and I just play off the disc, I'm not going to have those additions.
Right.
You know? And that's and that's what bothers me about like 90% of the games today. And like some games are like, which I think is kind of stupid, is they release a disc for a game that's online only. So, you know, once the servers are down, that's it. You can't even play that game solo.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, maybe I shouldn't concentrate on collecting for the new stuff. Like, I should just have like 3-4 games at a time, you know, beat them, trade them in, and then be happy, I guess.
But then again, if you think about it, that's what frustrated us about the systems we played. Oh man, I shouldn't have traded in my PS2.
Oh, I mean, like,
I know it's a completely different landscape.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least with the PS2, excuse me, you could play those games now. Like, I'm.
No, I know. I was just being a goof.
Oh no, I just mean like on your computer. You know, because like back then, it's like you trade in your PS2 and then now you're broke, can't get anything, and like you're just like, oh, I have unfinished business in GTA 3. You know, like I didn't get to beat the damn game, and now I can't even like I can't even play from the save that I had.
Right.
So I mean, like, I remember you talking about like maybe the furthest generation of gaming was maybe PS2 that you were like you took seriously, and then it just faded from there. Like you didn't really go the Xbox 360 and whatnot.
Yeah, kind of. I was the last console I heavily. How do I say? I was really into was the original PlayStation. When PS2 came out, I was really excited for it, but then it started to get a little bit too out of my touch, out of my reach. A lot
Yeah.
more full thumbsticks, a lot more, that type of deal.
Okay. So we'll just say the PS1 then, right?
Yeah,
All right.
original PlayStation.
So I'm guessing from television all the way up to there. How big is your back catalog?
Oh. Well, what do you mean by my back catalog, though? What I
Well,
have in the house?
no, I mean like, games that you really wanted to play or you missed out on that you've heard
Oh,
about.
it's huge. It's huge. I'm actually doing that with the Intellivision right now.
Anything specific for each console from, you know,
Um,
because
probably if TI, let's talk TI 99 a little bit.
okay.
If and only because this comes to mind, TI Invaders and their version of Pac-Man, which I think is called Munchman. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Those two stand out to me with that specific question, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I have unfinished business with Blasto
Oh yes.
on the original PlayStation.
Mhm.
It's funny. I think my ex-wife might still even have it.
Wow.
I should talk to my daughter and be like, "Go steal that for me." Um, let's see. Nothing I can think of. I mean, the Atari, I'm pretty good. Most of everything else, I'm pretty good. Super Nintendo, I'm not really too interested in. Genesis, I'm okay. Lots of TurboGrafx 16.
Oh,
Lots of TurboGrafx 16.
I remember borrowing one from one of my brother's friends,
Okay.
and there was like two games that he let us borrow with it, and I can't remember for the life of me like what they were,
Oh,
but they were awesome games, and stuff that would never show up on a Super Nintendo. But yeah, that's as far as TurboGrafx I went.
mm-hmm. The only experience I had here was there's a chick named Jen I used to hang out with. Turned out to be my now ex-wife's maid of honor. Her mom just randomly bought one when it was new. And she came home, I think it was packed with Keith Courage at the time. And she brought home Alien Crush. And those are the only two games I ever played while the system was still new and relevant.
Oh,
I
the
would just sit there
demo.
with my headphones on, listening to Styx Grand Illusion, jamming on Alien Crush for hours, ignoring everybody.
Yeah, I wonder why. I guess the price point of the TurboGrafx is what made it fail. Well, not fail,
Um,
but
well,
made it obscure.
it's weird. It depends on who you talk to. The more common consensus, at least from what I understand, is because it was only marketed heavily in larger areas. So there's a great portion of the states that never even knew they didn't even know it existed.
Oh wow.
Like we knew here on the East Coast because of New York and Boston and all that, and of course LA knew, and I'm pretty sure like Houston that was a big market at the time.
Yeah. Well, it's
But
weird because in New York, like I only knew maybe two people who had it, and they weren't
yeah,
even like hardcore gamers. They just got it just because.
and how weird is that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's changed to me.
Yeah, same with here. With this that lady, she wasn't a gamer.
Yeah.
She didn't have a system. I mean, her son had a and he still has it too, a Vectrex.
Oh wow.
I've been trying to get my hands on that thing for years. He won't let it go. He also thinks it's worth thousands and thousands of dollars, but
Not unless it's in a box in pristine condition, but
unopened.
even then,
The
it's
full catalog.
still a reach.
Yeah, they're a couple $100 now, like 300 or 400.
Uh,
But yeah, she just randomly just showed up with it one day. And I was like, yes, please set that up. I would like to play that.
Is there anything in your back catalog you would want to own? Because I can just imagine, like, these days we're just playing it off an emulator and whatnot, just to
Yeah.
just to feed our curiosity. But
Mm-hmm.
anything you would want to own?
Anything I would want to own. A Lynx.
Any specific game for that?
Oh, no.
Just the system?
Yeah, see, I don't look at things as specific games like that.
Mm.
I guess it would go back to TI Invaders and Munchman.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no. There's an ET game for the Atari 8-bit.
Huh.
I actually think it's called ET Go Home. Let me look it up right now. That. I think that's the answer to your question right there.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's called ET Phone Home.
Oh, okay.
The most cliche name you could ever have for an ET game.
That's the closest thing to the movie, I guess.
Yeah. What about you? What pokes around in your brain matter?
See, there's a lot. There's a lot because I've been playing since the Nintendo days, and I had one all the way. I basically had all the mainstream consoles till now.
Right. Okay.
So even the Switch, even though I don't have the Switch anymore, there's still a back catalog I have for it.
Mm-hmm.
The Dreamcast, forget about it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, because I was one of those guys that downloaded and burnt all the games to blank CDs and played them all.
Right.
So there's really no back catalog. I mean, there's some games I'd like to own just to play, but
okay.
As far as untouched territory on the Dreamcast, not really. There's a lot of games in the GameCube I haven't played, but that interests me.
Right.
I'm trying to think what for PlayStation.
Yeah, because I know there's probably a lot on the original PlayStation. I just can't think of right now at 1:30. No, almost 2 in the morning.
Jeez. I mean, there's this one game called Red Asphalt for the PS1 that I remember playing a lot, and that's
interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those futuristic racers, kind of like Wipeout almost.
Yeah.
But with weapons, I think, if I remember correctly. But I wanted to get that game again just to play, and I can't even find the ISO.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, see, when you say Red Asphalt, I think of that PSA video.
Oh, which one's that?
It's called Red Asphalt.
Huh. I'll look that up later.
It's something that they would show to driver's ed, kids learning, and it was basically car wrecks and people bleeding all over the place. And
oh, sweet.
So, Red Asphalt. I can't believe you've never heard of it. Look it up, man. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to get my license after that.
Yeah, no shit, right?
I'll just take the bus. It's fine.
And that's going to do it for this episode of Retro Coast to Coast. On behalf of myself and Mr. Paku Paku, we hope you enjoyed your time with us. We hope to see you again here in the next one. Hope you're doing well, and take care.